Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. This one is a TVZ on Antigua shipyards between the Zerg player, VGunnerMate, and the Terran player, aTnCloud. Now, aTnCloud is definitely the more well-known player, ranking in at 133 Grandmaster, and his opponent kind of mid-masters. I think he's ranked 45, but not really a well-known player if you ask me. Anyway, so anything can happen though. When you start hitting the bottom of Grandmaster League, you kind of just squeaked in to Grandmasters, and I know that that is the top 2% of like everyone, but when it's on the ladder, I don't know, man. They're not like tournament pros. I know ATN is a tournament pro. ATN is kind of a well-known clan, but I feel like anyone could win this match. It's not like, oh, it's a Grandmaster versus, you know, a Diamond player. Like Master League, you know, mid-masters, we'll see. We'll see what happens, alright? Anything can happen. And as VGunner comes down here to take his fast expansion, or not, he's just gonna go here. I don't know. I don't know. It's a late scout, whatever. His Overlord's kind of floating over here. I thought that was gonna be an expo, but this is gonna be an expo. There's the expo. Oh yeah, cool. So over here we do have the Terran player opting for a high ground wall versus a low ground wall, so indicating that it could be an expansion, but it might not be. We're not seeing a whole lot of info right now from aTnCloud, but that will change shortly, I'm sure. Anyway, I want to find a way to kind of monetize this channel but give something back. I know I have a donation button up on my stream, but I was wondering off the top of my head if I made like a crazy badass poster, like a really cool poster, like pretty big. I'm talking like, you know, 26 by 18, like, I don't know, if it was awesome, would you guys maybe pick one up? That's all I'm asking. So let me know in the comment section below if I made like a crazy ass poster, whether it be like of an SSN poster, or if it's just a StarCraft kind of in general poster. And on top of that, let me know what you would want to see on that poster. Do you want a specific race? Do you want an SSN poster? We do have a bunker rush here going on, so let me know in the comments below, and we'll jump right into this game. aTnCloud trying to throw up this bunker here, and the drone's trying to get at the SCV, but having troubles. They do manage to pick it off before that bunker completes, but we do have a single Marine here. Will try his best to kite a bunch of drones here. One goes down, and this Marine looks like he's going to follow. Actually going to go down to the drone. He does in fact die to a drone. That single drone should get himself out of there, or just, you know, be defended by Lings, whatever he feels like. That's cool with me. Canceled that bunker, so loses pretty much no money. 25 minerals plus that Marine. And seeing as how a Marine costs 50 minerals and a drone costs 50 minerals, but that Marine does not make money for his team, I feel like, you know, I feel like the Terran player came out ahead on that one. But we do have single Marine trying to book his ass back home, and is actually going to go down to a bunch of Lings. Not sure why he left that one Marine behind. I think trying to stall a little bit, but he will. Yeah, I think aTnCloud's gonna be, yeah, he's fine. Okay, so a couple SCVs pull off the line. They've got their auto repair, so like he was never in any trouble. He's got 2 Marines on the field, a bunker almost finished. Those SCVs in a transfer to the natural. aTnCloud now keeping up with his opponent on the macro side of things, and it will be up to the Zerg player to try and take a third at some point, because the Zerg player needs to be a base ahead in order to keep up with both that macro and, you know, unit production. Not really in a good position on only 2 bases. Pretty much every race outguns them on a 2 base versus 2 base situation. We will see the Terran player going for that starport, so whether we're going to see medevacs or banshees, only time can tell. But you have a reactor that will be flopping down onto the factory, which I'm going to guess, yeah, it's going to be Hellions. That reactor is not for the starport. Maybe long term. I'd be curious if he's going to spit out maybe like 4 Hellions and then swap that onto the starport for, no, we're going to see attack labs, so that will be Banshees, or maybe a Raven, but most likely Banshees. And that's going to be interesting. I love Banshee play versus Zerg. It always makes for like stressful moments where like, is that Banshee going to get away? Is it going to get 45 kills like a show Banshee? Show, if you didn't know, free pack, 2010. Oh my god, 42 kill Banshee against Puck. Cry me a the river because I'm pro-DOS and that was sad for me. But anyway, 1 second, taking a drink. Flying into this, we do have this base pretty well saturated. Taking a third already. These Hellions will stop the Zerg player from taking an easy third. If a single drone wanders to this location by itself, it will die. Without roaches or without a lot of lings, like, he's going to have to commit to some units here, which is so good for the Terran player. That's all you want, man. If he's building units and not drones, you've done your job with these Hellions, seriously. Because you don't have to stop Harvester production to make these Hellions. But the Zerg player, if he wants to push out and take his third, he needs something else. I mean, he can just, in theory, spread his creep with these queens and drop some forward spines and kind of... That's what I see a lot of players do. You'll see them spread their creep to this ramp and then move a couple spines forward into this position here. But what that produces is an opportunity for the Hellions to run back into the natural. So without those roaches, he's a little bit uncomfortable. We will see 5 roaches coming out for the Zerg player. We do have melee weapons as well as carapaces coming out. So the melee weapons won't really benefit the roaches. So it's clearly not his plan to go mass roach in this game, if that's the upgrade he's choosing. We're going to see metabolic boost just now start, which is interesting. That's pretty late lane speed. And these roaches now are going to be able to push back those Hellions by themselves and take that third. So here we have the Terran player. Their command center is completed, morphing that into an orbital command. And as a Terran player, you always want to morph that orbital before you lift off and fly. I say this almost every cast, but I want to reiterate that to you guys. Get use of that that command center's energy before it takes off, and then by the time it lands, you might have energy again. So pretty sweet. You see, he uses that mule, and away he goes. So this wall is pretty sweet. It gives him a great ability to concave, but as well get out with his units. And I mean, if the Zerg units spend time shooting at these supply depots, it's not a huge loss for the Terran player. If the supply blocks him, he can use orbital command to get himself out of that supply block, but it does draw fire away from his bio units, and that's excellent. So he will actually catch a free overseer, which is awesome, because the Zerg player, you know, put gas into that, and gas is the resource in this game that's a little bit tricky to get. And what the Zerg really wants to do against a Terran player is tech into gas-heavy units. We're talking mutas, maybe infestors. Banelings are always nice, and you know, gas is precious. So to lose an overseer is a pain in the ass because he's got to morph another one, especially if he thinks Banshees are on the way. And we do have that reactor on the starport, by the way. It wasn't a tech lab that went down onto it. We have a lot of Zerg units. Here come a big pack of Banelings lifting up all his units into the medevac. Excellent play by aTnCloud. Gonna try to get up in here, but I don't even think it's worth dropping because those units are almost already here. He's not going to be able to kill anything. Gonna fly back into the back pocket. We do have a Spore Crawler picking away at the medevacs. He is gonna get some Zerg kills, some Link kills. And all those Banelings collide with the bio, losing almost everything, saving 2 Hellions, I think 2 Marines. Actually, yeah, 2 Hellions, 1 Marine, 1 Marauder, and 2 Marine. Yeah, okay. So just a handful of units left in those medevacs. Excellent, excellent defense by this Zerg here. I don't really know him. VGunnerMate. If any of you guys have heard of him, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what's up. And I'd like to reiterate, let me know about that poster thing. If I were to make posters, what do you want to see on them? And, you know, would you buy one? I mean, I'll custom make them for people if you want. Like, I don't even care. I'm just looking for some way to keep this this channel afloat. Right now I do this for free, but you know, any pocket cash is really good to survive. Every like couple bucks I make is time I can take off work to do more casting. So it's awesome for you, it's awesome for me. Like I said, there is a donation button on the website, but cool. We do see sensor tower going up, and that will give the Terran player excellent vision in case of muta. You know, he's going to be able to deny any kind of air harass, but it looks like the Zerg player will be going towards infestors rather than muta. So that's pretty awesome. But a sensor tower is good all-purpose, whether those muta come or not. Especially when a lot of Zerg players like to try and do some sort of burrowed run-by with infestors. You can do a lot of damage to a mineral line with infested Terran that way. And, you know, ultimately, both players right now, in a TVZ, it's all about doing damage to each other's production. because the production from both of these races is just so good. So good. And in a high-level situation where both players know the macro properly, it's all about just cutting the head off the production and pulling themselves into a late game in a good situation. A lot of units here for the Terran player reinforcing this army, but I feel like aTnCloud lost his siege tank needlessly. Gonna pick off a bunch of banelings for free as they could not get in. It looks like I did miss a drop here. I apologize for that, but I don't think much damage was done. Free Infestor and fungal growth going down on this Terran army, trying to stem forward, but if they do stem too far forward and overextend themselves, they will get mashed into this huge Zerg ball, which is going to clean up another siege tank and more bio here that is on the ground for the Terran player. The medevacs are just not enough, and the fungal growth previously on the army did so much damage, actually rallying reinforcements into a lost fight here. I don't completely agree with that. Another siege tank far forward that I think will be greeted by reinforcements from the Zerg. More infestors here, more lings, lots of units being just streamed from the Terran base. Lots of siege tanks actually getting caught here. I don't think the Terran player knows that. There we go, finally realizing that they were stuck. And so four siege tanks kind of coming out of nowhere to engage the Zerg player. Zerg very bravely trying to take this gold expansion, but I don't think he'll be able to hold it. Especially with siege tank fire, like he won't be able to saturate that. This base is pretty well useless aside from like the single larva it's gonna spit out every couple seconds. So the siege tank's actually gonna come over here to the low ground to support this drop. This is an excellent play, guys, for any Terran player. Use the siege tanks to defend a drop into the high ground, but we do have infestors here, which for the Zerg side of things is an excellent way to defend something like that. A couple Marines running by. There's a lot to look at here, guys. I'm trying to watch the minimap as best I can. These units push forward. They will get fungled by the infestors. One infestor goes down for free. We're seeing a run by on the left-hand side here of Lings trying to deny this base before it finishes into a PF, which is a huge deal. If that becomes a PF, it would be very hard to deny, especially with siege tank defense. Destroying the third here, which I think that could be a nail in the coffin here for the Zerg player. The Terran looks like he has everything the way he wants it. Getting free infestors everywhere. Those infestors just aren't getting out of there in time after they fungal. And the Terran player will be able to push in here and completely deny this gold expo. As a lot of drones, long distance mine to the third. A GG comes from VGunnerMate, and the Grandmaster does take this game for good reason. Well played from the Terran player. Not too shabby from the Zerg player. I think he just got out macroed. Excellent game, guys. I'm aTnCloud. If you have any questions for me, any comments, throw them in the comment section or message me personally. You guys know I respond to everything. I'm going to cast a bunch of games today, so sit tight, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next time.